didn't happen. Now, just in wrapping up, debut movie, Big Nunu's Little Heist. You also were in the series Queen Sono, which was led by the lady Pearl Tusi. What else have you done that is probably available on international platforms?
There's a film by Sam Neill that just recently came out that we had a cameo in that. And I think the predominant stuff that I've done has been for live. So it's been for stage.
Oh, stage.
And I consult quite a bit on like stand-up comedy shows. So the Pop-Pop's comedy special that's streaming right now on Showmax, Black in My Day. I was the creative director on that project. And I think that's my foray really, like,
and when you're speaking, like, I hope for a person who's listening in is hearing the different jobs. Because when you think of a comedy show and you think Pop-Pops or you think Johnny Pula, who's a comedian out here in Botswana, you're thinking, okay, it's just him going to perform. And then there is an actual production that was put together to ensure that things flow this way, even the lineup, So, yeah, man, I'm loving, just hearing about, the consultancy. And for, like I say, for a person who's listening in, who's studying film or stage or just within the entertainment space, they're hearing that there are other jobs that are out there that they can fall into. Now, at the end of the day, big entrance. Can we expect more from you in terms of you lead role? Like I say, debut lead role on Netflix, big platform. And it's crazy because I'm sure you guys got the stats that weekend it came out. Because with Netflix you can tell, okay, already 1 million streams already. How was that like when you got the numbers, and how big were these numbers?
Man, the numbers were huge. Were huge, in the millions, right? And you're going from 1 week you're promoting it, the next week everyone is stopping you in the streets about it, right? Because they've all seen it. They've either seen the trailer, they've watched the whole thing, and top performing picture of its weekend in on the continent. Right? So it's like, and it goes on to the next weekend and still in the top, So it had a really good launch, a really great run. And the energy from the premiere, we had a premiere 2 days before it dropped on Netflix. And there was kind of an energy at that premiere where you could tell that this is going to hit South Africans in an interesting way. And then someone says, no, this is going to hit Africans in an interesting way.
And let me tell you, there's something that I said of, this man, I'm sure when I said that, it's like, hey, this guy. You're going to go back and you'll tell them. They'll find me. It's okay. A lot of projects that come out, from SA that, come out on these international platforms, even on your Showmax and everything. I don't know, like some, you can see they are done in English, obviously for, even though the stats have proved that, look, Venek works.
Venek works.
Like I can sit there and watch a movie or a show that's from Ukraine or from wherever and watch and enjoy in the original language, and I read the sub. So some of the stuff that I get to see, from SA and from other countries that's just usually for me it loses the authenticity, because I'll be like, had this person said it in whatever language it would have hit, so you'll tell them. That's what this man was saying in Botswana. But Jeff, thank you very much for coming through. Mr. Tefopaya, thank you very much for making this possible. The man is behind the camera and everything. And hopefully next time you come through, I'll get you to join in. I know you've been doing a lot of work with Mr. Paya this weekend with the kids, talking to our upcoming stars and everything. Now, for a person who's listening in, who would want to be where you are, whether in comedy or in film and TV, what can you say to them? Words of encouragement.
We had a session this afternoon with Mr. Paya and the students, and we were speaking in the present, in the future, and in the liminal space, meaning who are you now? Who do you want to be in the future? And what is getting in your way of being that person in the future? And my encouragement to anyone who's listening is, without making any excuses about where you are now, think about the greatest potential that you can be in the future and identify what it is that is in your way for doing that and knock that thing out.
You can't say anymore. I can't say anymore. I'm done. Thank you very much, Mr. Jeff Tshabalala, for coming through. Social media platforms, are you active? Where can they find you?
On Instagram, at Jefferson Tshabalala. On Facebook, Jefferson Tshabalala. On Twitter, or rather on X, at Gabz Tshabalala.
On your X.
On your X. And for all the people in BW who are keen on like looking at our fashion stuff, we run a brand called Scene Pa. And on Instagram, it's at @scene_pa. That's SEEN_PHA.
Thank you very much for coming through to the show and sharing with us. You know, I always love talking film and TV. That's why this gentleman called me and said, yo, there's this opportunity. Thank you very much for coming through.
Appreciate it. Thank you for making time for us.
And that's how we wrap up the show. Coming through at number 1 is...